Hey, I'm Rob Patz.
Hey, I'm Jason Webb. Rob, it's another Thursday. We got Thrive with Rob and Jason. We're back.
Yes, and for those that have been mocking us and calling us talking heads when they see us on actual TV, it is correct. Our heads are actually this big. And if you go to my Instagram, you will see a picture of Jason and I, and our heads are ginormous.
Yes,
We have
yes.
very big heads, but the TV accentuates our big heads.
I was at a VRBO this past week, Rob, and I did throw on our show just to show the guys that we were there with. And yeah, our faces are quite large on a 60-inch screen.
I believe, and I don't know this for a fact because it was purchased before I was married to Kristen, but I believe ours is a 65-inch. And I put us on the other day, and we have cats, and it scared all of them. They all left the room. They were like, that is big heads right there. And so, hey, you know what? It's the time of year right now, though, where every NFL team can have a big head.
Exactly. It's the season of hope. Training camp. Everybody's in there. Everybody's got, grand plans. Like I was talking before we got on here, our Denver Broncos, man, we're going to win the Super Bowl. That's what everybody's telling us. Mo Picks or Bo Nix. I love Bo Nix. I know you say Mo Picks, but hey,
Mo Picks,
amazing. He's going to be the second coming here. I'm telling you.
Of what?
Winning it all, Rob.
He's the second coming of what? Is he going to be what, like Jim Harbaugh when he played for the Bears? A second coming. I mean, he did. He had a good season, and I tease about him. He's got a great family story. If you haven't heard his story,
it is amazing.
When he was at Oregon, and his mom and dad, and they brought in that wide receiver, and I can't remember the kid's name now. But what a cool story about what they did, where they brought him in and really took him under their wing, and I think that's so cool. And
and his faith background, he does not shy away from that, and he's very boisterous about it. It's amazing. His story is incredible. I would highly recommend people look that up.
Though, at some point, the name of Jesus will be used a lot when you're in a game with Mo Picks.
Praise for winning, praise for the touchdowns, giving you all the talent.
No, I don't
all
think
the good
so.
stuff.
I think it'll be like when you see the guy from the Kansas City Chiefs running the other way towards the end zone.
Man, see, this is what I have to go through, people. You see this. This is not just on air.
No. Oh, we talk like this off air too, which is I think why it's such a good relationship. Hey, the other thing, and this has been a hot topic this week, and I don't know why it's a hot topic. I figured the NBA needs to get into they need to be in the cycle because you've got NFL, like you said, start of training camp. So they needed something. So it came out this week in several publications, the debate again about LeBron James versus Michael Jordan. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before we do this discussion, I want to preface something. As you look at both of us, we're of a certain age. We both got to see Jordan actually play.
Yes,
so if you're under the certain age, let's say 30, and you never saw Jordan play, you don't get to talk because we've seen them both. I'm just going to throw that out there right now. Okay, so you go first. I'm going to let you go first.
It's no comparison. Michael Jordan, by far. Like LeBron James has had a lengthy career, and he's great. Don't get me wrong, but when you saw Michael Jordan play, it changed everything. It changed the sport. He didn't bounce from team to team to team. He went to 6 championships. He won 6 championships. The guy is just incredible. All the MVPs, all the awards. He elevated everybody around him. It didn't matter where he was.
And here's the thing out of that. I don't, and again, I like LeBron. I'm not dissing LeBron.
Oh, me neither. Yeah.
But put him in the 90s against the Pistons.
And the bad boys.
Bad boys.
It was a lot more physical. It was.
Yes, my wife, who's a big sports person, did stuff for ESPN and all that neat stuff. My wife says he doesn't make it. He goes down the lane and Lambeer just basically takes him apart, and that's it.
It was violent.
Yes, it was more like football.
It was. Yeah, they didn't mind. They didn't mind hurting you to come down the lane. They didn't want you to come down that lane. So they didn't have the fines. They didn't have all of the things that they have now, the protections. So yeah, he wouldn't have the lengthy career At least I don't think so.
No. Well, and I don't think he would have gotten to body up on people. I mean, he
No, he's a
looks
big boy.
like,
He's
you
very
and I,
athletic and very strong. So
both of us playing.
nothing on that. But man, these guys just didn't care for their bodies. They would
No,
seriously just try to hurt you. Like it was
yeah,
nothing about that. Yeah.
yeah. Well, Lambeer, the whole famous thing where he almost tore Larry Bird in half.
Mhm.
And those things, I don't know. Now, I think actually LeBron James, and both of us being quarterbacks in our youth, I would have loved to have thrown to LeBron James as a tight end. Holy
Oh,
cow.
and he was actually a really good tight end in high school, but he was just better at basketball because he could have been an amazing football player.
Oh, you think about it. Now his career would have been a lot shorter.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's kind of interesting. Heard that today. I wanted to get your take on it. Net worth, it's like LeBron is chasing Michael Jordan's net worth. Jordan's worth like $3.2 billion and LeBron's just a little over $1 billion. Now I'd take either of those numbers personally.
Oh yeah, and LeBron might end up being actually wealthier than because LeBron's still younger, and he has much more. He has a lot more businesses at this age than Michael Jordan did. But
yeah,
still, either of them, they're both incredible in their own right. Don't get me wrong, but when it came to playing, Michael Jordan, yeah, definitely the greatest.
Okay, I want to ask because we need an opinion of a younger person. So we're gonna bring in, good golly, Miss Molly. Molly does a show on the network. Molly,
good morning.
Good morning. Is it LeBron James or Michael Jordan?
I mean, I was already chiming in the chat privately on the back end, and it's MJ all the way. He's unmatched. One word, unmatched. Just that's it. That's all I got.
That's it.
Well, and you are in Southern Cal, so you get to see LeBron a little bit more. So if you,
I like that. You know what I really love about Michael Jordan? It's like he was. I mean, sure, he had all these things, but there was a certain level of like class back then too. LeBron can be pretty. I mean, I get it. He's LeBron James. He can be as arrogant as he want, or at least people tell him he can. I mean, that's up to the person. But there was just a classiness about. Yeah, Michael Jordan. And I grew up watching him. And so like my brothers had him plastered all over their bedroom walls. And so it was MJ all the way in our house.
Yep.
Yep. I completely agree with you on that. But Molly, it's great to have you on the network. I know we've talked before and had you on our show, but now you have your own show. This is so cool. I want to talk about that and see like what the show's about. Talk about the guests because people can see more of you. They're going to see more of you on the network. Man, I'm so happy to have you part of the family.
Well, I am so grateful to be here. Thank you to you. Thank you to Rob. Rob must have slipped out. I might have hurt his feelings saying it was MJ. I don't know. He was like, okay, I'm out of here. I'm just kidding.
He's in the background going to be caught. Yeah. Saying some things.
Yeah. He's going to be texting me being like, I can't believe you just said that.
Exactly. Right.
I am very grateful to be able to have the It's Bigger Than Me show on Abundant TV with what you guys are doing here. It's amazing. I remember the day Rob and I were having those conversations and really the show. Let's just talk about the title. The title holds a weight in and of itself. It's bigger than me. Really, it just stands for everything we do impacts. The impact is way beyond us. It's for people around us. Everything. It's like if you have a glass lake, right? Like it's so smooth in the beginning of the morning and you throw that pebble in there, the ripple is going to be felt and seen for quite a while. And that's what happens with everything that we do in our life. So bringing amazing guests on the show to really talk about their journey, whether it's entrepreneurship, whether it's relationships, all usually typically faith-based because God gets to be a part of everything. But you get to hear these real stories, the messy middles of a lot of these stories. So it gives people hope of, wow, I can resonate with that rather than, they're on the other end of the spectrum and it just seems so unattainable.
Yeah, no, completely agree. As you started to build out your show, you've been in media a lot in your career, and you've shifted things because you were on, secular TV doing a bunch of stuff, but now you're really in all of the Christian media channels, and we're building these things up there. But I'd love for you to touch on like that calling that you had in the media side and using it for ministry and all these pieces because we've talked a lot, but your story in those pieces and again, like why you came up with this title, I want to touch on your story a little bit.
Well, thank you. It's a very, everybody has a very detailed story, right? When I look back at why I even wanted to get into the news, it literally was, this sounds like fun. Nobody does this. What a great challenge. It sounds like fun. And I wanted to be able to give a voice to people who didn't feel like they had one. That was really like, I wanted to give the underdog a voice. That was really why I got in there. But when I got into the news, lo and behold, they want death and destruction, doom and
Yep.
gloom, and all the craziness, because that's what draws in the fear, aka a lot of the viewers, because they just latch onto that.
Yeah.
And I was like, I went through
It was
all
all
of
about the
that
views,
for
huh?
this.
Mhm.
Yeah, all about the views. It was crazy. So I got a great adrenaline rush, but it was always off something like really destructive. And I was like, this just can't be it. So when I realized the power of what the skills that I had, the power of media, when I was maybe like 2 or 3 years in, that's when Periscope, Facebook Live, Instagram Live, all these live capabilities on social media started coming out. And the
Mhm.
light bulb went off of, I can take this skill set and actually go share stories on my own channels and stories that actually matter. And then because of that background that I've had, I know how to really be able to extract information and help people even discover their story, because I had to quite literally do that on the news. I'm like, here's a story. Some people didn't really know how to even share it or talk. And
Mhm.
then I had to extract, like, okay, like not guide them to what I wanted, but how can I pull out the truth and be able to build something around that?
Man, I love it. I love it. Where can people find you? Of course, on the network, any other socials as we get into this some more. Um, because say we have some people in the audience that want to be able to tell their story in this. How can they find you?
I mean, every time I even put like a website or anything on
I
any
know.
of the QR codes and all that, people always find me on social media. So
Perfect.
Molly Trotter Gomez on Facebook, LinkedIn,
She's easy to
Instagram.
find.
Yeah, it's very easy to find. I'm wearing pink, so it's pretty easy. It's easy to find, and so I would love to be able to connect with you there and just be able to hear your story and see how we can be able to amplify that and share it, so you can have that magnetizing message.
Yeah,
And I love her on TikTok. If you
Oh,
haven't
yeah.
seen her on TikTok, you
Mhm.
need to go over and find Molly on TikTok, because Molly dances on TikTok.
What? Do I even have one video of dancing on TikTok? I don't know, Rob. Now you're gonna have blackmail on me somewhere.
Exactly right.
No, shh.
Molly
Come on,
is one of
Molly.
the
You
most
get people
amazing
then to go,
connectors.
what's she dancing about on? Come on, you know how the lead works. It doesn't
I
mean it's
do.
always
It's like you got to
true.
get their attention, and they're like, "What is this?" Click, boom.
Well, Molly, man, I am so again happy that you're on the network. You're part of the family, and being able to tell people's stories, your story, letting that come out to the public, it's amazing. Thank you so much for what you're doing, and really just following God's calling in this and listening to Him. I know we've had a lot of discussions on this, and you just being obedient to Him and moving away from the mainstream side to this piece. It's very much needed, and we're just so happy to have you on the network.
Well, thank you. Thank you for this opportunity and being able to hang out with you guys today.
Yes, yes,
It's
yes.
it's always an honor to hang out with us.
It is. It is. If I'm in the room with Rob, then I mean, my day is
Yes.
made, and it's like early in the morning over here in California.
Like his mom always said, he's very adorable.
Hashtag
It came
freaking
from his
adorable.
mom, but that's what
Yes,
we
even my
she
mom
called-
used to say that. Hashtag
You got to love the
freaking
mom
adorable.
affirmations. We need those all the time.
All the time. Hey, Molly, it's good seeing you. Man, this has been a great show so far. Everybody's agreeing with us. We've got one more guest. We'll see if he agrees with our Jordan LeBron situation. Of course, we loaded everybody to agree with us. So
We did. We prepped and wanted people to agree. So, but hey, we've had a lot of laughter, a lot of jokes.
yes,
Guys, we do love to joke and have fun, and man, you need laughter in your life, and it's okay to poke fun at each other. Me and Rob do it all day, every day. It's just something that we've really bonded over. And you look at us, and it's pretty easy to poke fun at us.
or just poke us. Look how fat I am. Hey, one thing we didn't mention and we should is a great apparel line that is a part of what we do here at the Thrive Show. And there, Jason's wearing one. I still have yet to get one, though I'm really not a t-shirt guy. I think it's because I have this big neck. And if I don't put something, I then look like, the guy that, escaped is pretty much.
Yeah, he is king.life, guys. If you look at that code ATV10, you get 10% off everything at the site there. The apparel is amazing. It's really high end. It's top notch, guys. Check it out. They're a great sponsor of ours and just great apparel. What they're doing is amazing stuff.
So tell us about our next guest, because it was so exciting getting to meet him just a little bit ago.
Yes, and our next guest is someone who's no stranger to influence, especially when it comes to shaping conservative and faith-based messaging in the digital space. Kurt Leadhart is the co-founder of the Prosper Group, a premier digital strategy firm that has helped elect dozens of political leaders and impact causes that matter. But today he joins us to talk about a new mission, Liberty Spenders, a growing platform helping Christians and conservatives direct their dollars towards businesses that align with their values. Kurt, great to have you part of the network. Talked to you a few times on this and what you've done in the past, what you're doing here in the future. I love it. And you are helping bring that voice for the conservative out there. And what you're doing with Liberty Spenders is amazing. So thank you so much for being on the network.
Well, it's good to be here. I think that your LeBron versus Jordan debate is limiting. We need to bring in a few Hoosiers. I'm a Hoosier myself. You can't leave Larry Bird out of this conversation, or Reggie Miller, who fought tooth and nail with Michael Jordan year after year and put up some spectacular numbers.
Small hands.
and has also extended his career into great commentary for the NBA.
Well, him and his sister, Cheryl, she's awesome too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've got Tyrese Halliburton. He's the up and comer. He led his Pacers to break multiple records along the way to just falling shy of an NBA championship this year. So, too many people say LeBron and Jordan. That's very limiting. We need to have more Hoosiers in that discussion.
See, and I like Larry Bird, and I've gotten a chance. I was a young kid when Larry was playing, and so I didn't really, you didn't grasp the depth of how good he and Magic were, because I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
But Larry Bird, I saw a documentary, and Larry was telling the guys on defense what he was going to do. I'm going to come off the wing. I'm going to bank the shot in. And he would come off the wing and bank the shot in and then tell them about it. And I'm like, that's because both Jason and I played sports. First place, calling your shot is incredible. And then to do it is a whole other thing.
Especially in the pros. And Larry Bird was one of the biggest trash talkers. Like he was amazing at it. He was professional in his own right with that.
He and Magic made the NBA. So there's an argument. No Larry Bird, no Magic. There'd be no LeBron, no Michael Jordan. And so you've got to really consider. And of course, the Magic and Bird story is so great. The way they talk about each other and the competition. And they were two very opposite human beings from two very opposite places in the world. If you've ever been to French Lick, Indiana, it is. Now there's a couple of there's a casino there. There's some bigger things, but it was middle of nowhere. And so two very opposite guys. So I'm going to put a little gas on for some Hoosiers in your debate. We'll see. I'm probably in the minority.
Put those into the poll. I don't know. They'll probably be at the bottom, not going to lie, but hey, they'll be there. Okay. We'll throw those in.
Yes. Yes.
But we got to have Kirk back just to talk about sports. That's not what we're here to talk about today. But and then are we saying, if you're a Hoosier, are we saying then Bobby Knight is going to be the all-time coach?
We could definitely throw some chairs.
Now there is definitely strong opinions about Bobby Knight down here. I think that could probably eat up the rest of our show. If we wanted to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
So maybe we decide to talk about something else.
We'll do a separate show on that.
Yes.
He built winning teams, right? He built winning teams.
Yes. So, well, you know what, Kurt? I'd love to get into the Liberty Spenders piece here, and the reason why you got into this. So I'd love to hear the exact one where you're like, hey, we need this. It needs to be out there. Why Liberty Spenders? And explain what Liberty Spenders is.
Yeah, my wife and I met in college, and both were really passionate about politics. And it was our belief at that time that if we just got the right politicians elected, that the sun would come out, the Red Sea would part, the world's problems would be saved. All it was going to take was one good election, and everything would get better. And that's what we built our business around. We did marketing for Republican politicians all over the country of all sizes. Some of the people that, folks would recognize, like Ted Cruz and Donald Trump and Brian Kemp and Pete Ricketts and folks like that. And after a while, even though a lot of the folks we worked with were really good people, it became clear to us that if there's a problem that we're facing in this country, an existential problem, or probably arguably a spiritual problem, it wasn't going to get solved by politicians. And in the meantime, 20 years of doing this political stuff, we recognized just how much innovation and spiritual battles were being fought and won, not by our politicians, but by business owners. And they're the ones creating new inventions. They're the ones creating jobs. They're the ones who fighting for truth, justice, the American way, and contributing to their churches and building buildings. And so I think God really did a work in our heart to say, you've only worked for politicians for this long. It's time to start helping businesses. And that was a big fight with us, my wife and I, and our business. Are we really going to do this? How are we going to do it? And at some point, we really started digging into, well, what is it that we understand as a marketing agency for the other marketing agencies don't, right? Because there's a lot of them. And what we did understand was we understand this segment of the American population who were Christian and or conservative, because they're the kinds of people who are supporting our political clients and giving them money, which is a lot of what we worked on. And this group of people, not only do they care about the kind of politicians that serve, but they're also paying attention now to the values of the companies that they're doing business with. They are considering that almost on the same level as, features and benefits, right? They want to know, if I'm doing business or if I'm buying from this company, where is that money going? What policies are they supporting? What are they pushing their employees to do? Are they forcing pronouns on Christian employees? Are they engaged in racist DEI policies? Are they giving money to Planned Parenthood? What's happening here? And so we decided we wanted to do a really big deep dive into who are these people and how many of them, right? Who are these Christian or conservative consumers? How many are they? What's the effect on the economy and business community? So we took our voter database that we use, or at least the same system that we use, and we partnered with a data firm that worked for Ted Cruz that Don Jr. is involved with. They did amazing work, and they helped us do a nationwide survey. And then we modeled every American consumer based on how likely they were to consider Christian and conservative values when they buy a product from any company, and found 76.5 million people who are significantly more likely to buy from a brand if they associate that brand with their conservative or Christian values. They spend $5 trillion a year, and they have made companies like Black Rifle Coffee Company, Patriot Mobile, Hobby Lobby, Chick-fil-A, Every Life Diapers, and all kinds of businesses take off and grow because they're really passionate these days about working with businesses that match their value. And we call these people Liberty Spenders, which we ended up writing a book about them. And I think it's a really powerful trend for every business to be paying attention to.
And the QR code's down there, guys. You can check out Liberty Spenders here. I'm going to probably venture out to say a lot of our audience is probably on that list.
Yeah, probably. And the point is, there's a ton of them. It isn't just a few 100,000 people. There are 76.5 million people who are really concerned that the businesses that they are working with match their values. And by the way, it's not out of sync with the rest of America. 75% of all Americans have said in the last 12 months they've quit a brand over a values alignment issue.
Oh yeah, we've seen that a lot lately, especially in the last, say, five years or so. We've seen a big shift in that trend. So you guys coming to the forefront of this is amazing. And one thing I want to dive into a little bit is, I know you have this database of consumers that are doing this, but also the businesses that are looking, to really get to these consumers. How do you verify that they're, that they're Christian conservative? Like, is there a process with this to try to build some trust with the audience here to show, hey, look, these are people that stand for your values?
Well, we only people we know
Okay.
to promote
That
to
are
this
completely
audience.
vetted.
So
Mhm.
the vetting is sort of, I know them, I've seen them, I've experienced their heart, I understand their businesses. But
Yeah.
that's something you raise a very important point, which is, although I think this is something every business needs to be looking at, they need to be looking at what is happening
Mhm.
in with values buyers, but they need to be authentic.
Yes.
You can't fake it with, in my opinion. I think they spot a fake a million miles away.
I
And
agree,
you can really screw
especially the
things up.
faith-based side. Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, especially the
we're
faith-based side
seeing
with
that.
the with discernment and being able to listen to the Holy Spirit. It's a big piece of this. Um, we have a few more minutes here, Kurt. I would really like to get into what is the big picture of Liberty Spenders. Like, what do you see Liberty Spenders in 5 years, and how people can get involved? Like, where do you see this going?
Well, so first of all, I would say that it's probably the number one most important, if you're a business owner, the number one most important thing happening in the consumer market right now is this idea of values based buying, people buying based on values.
Mhm.
And you need to be on top of it. Your consumers are checking you out before they buy, and they're asking questions not just about the quality of the product and how good the reviews are, but where do you stand? And so steering into this is very important. If you're a Christian business owner, you got to really think hard about it. What we're trying to do is evangelize that message. It's time to not be afraid to share, talk about faith and values in the marketplace, right?
Mhm.
I grew up in a world where we were told, what was the famous saying, the two things you don't talk about at dinner are religion and politics. But that calculation has changed. People want to
It
know,
has.
and we
Mhm.
shouldn't be afraid of it.
Nope. Yeah, we're supposed to be out there talking about it and just getting it out there. So I particularly there's been some companies that I've moved away from and moved our family away from purchasing and consuming products because of their values and because of what they stand for. And we go out of our way to buy from these certain companies that do stand for our values. I like before we jumped on air, you were talking about people that go say drive an extra 20 minutes to go to a Chick-fil-A compared to say another fast food restaurant just because of their values. Also, they make a great chicken sandwich, but their values, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And this is happening every day with your consumers if you're a business.
Mhm.
We talk in our book about conviction-driven marketing, which is this idea of talking about your convictions and who you are as part of your marketing
Mhm.
program. And so that's what the value we bring to folks. And you can learn more about it. We give away a free copy of our book on the website that you linked on the QR code. So we're happy to educate people and tell them how to implement these strategies for their company.
Oh, that's awesome. And I've checked out the book. My other partner, he showed me this, and this is how we actually got connected. Guys, check out the website here. Get that QR code. You get a copy of that book. Check it out. See how you can be a part of this and really help build this up, especially the Christian conservative space. So, Kurt, man, it's been incredible having you on the show. Thank you so much for being here. Rob, what do you think?
I love it. I love what he's saying, and it's true. I think if you're a business owner out there right now, you need to lean into this because people are looking. Like Kirk said, people are really looking at where you stand on things.
I agree. Well, Kurt, again, thank you so much, brother.
Hey,
Well,
that was
Rob?
another great addition. It goes by way too fast, and of course, there are people out there. I'm sure we're going to get shade this week from people going, "Hey, you talked about too much sports in your show."
We did get into that a little too far, but hey, I love it.
No, we didn't. It was fun. Hey, listen, here's the thing. If you as Christians, we still love sports. So if you're this is not your show. If you don't, that's fine. We're leaning into what we believe. There we go. Of course, we
Michael
said a whole
Jordan,
bunch of people.
number one.
Number one. There we go. Hey, listen, buddy, appreciate it. And man, this has been again an amazing